LeBron. 105 games in against LeBron.
So we're going to debate who's
He's
better?
the best ever.
I'll tell you what,
that's
pretty impressive.
See? We got Stan.
No, but that's pretty impressive.
It is.
When you look at that, Smitty. I mean,
It is.
I remember what LeBron was like when he first came in.
Who's better? No, I'm just playing.
Oh, boy. What does elite really mean? Okay, never mind. Let's show you how it all went out on the floor. AD still out. LeBron, game face on. Early, aggressive, Smitty.
It is. Going right to the rim. More of a scoring mentality, but he still can flat out pass it. But he was all scoring at the beginning.
And looks at the game, right? Assess, no AD, which means more for Kuz with the tip. How good has Dwight Howard been? All the bigs have been good, Stan.
He went and got this one.
You know what? They put both those guys, he and McGee, in great roles for them, and they've accepted those roles and are playing them very well.
Accepting a beating here. Dallas, 78 in the first half. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Offensive firepower and not much defense in the paint either. Luka doing his thing. Struggling, some frustration. Free throw line, misses the first. And then the second, and then Hulkamania running wild,
Oh, we didn't see that, Stan. That was the reason.
Missed two free throws, but that's impressive. Those jerseys aren't that easy to
Hey,
tear.
look, if you can
I'm
do
impressed.
that, there's never a reason that's bad.
I'm more
I mean, that's
impressed
just
by
showing
that
off
than I would
right
have been
there.
if he made the two free throws, Smitty.
History for LeBron James, yes, again. Seems like every day. How about passing Michael for fourth in the history of the association in field goals made?
And he's passing Michael, passing Wilt. Those names,
More on
Unreal.
this coming, but more frustration. Rondo down the court, former Mav, out of bounds. Inbounds, the Lakers challenge the play. Rick Carlisle getting upset. What do you mean you're challenging the play after it's inbounded? You can't do that to me. That's it, I'm out of here. Second tech, ejected. Also had probably seen enough of the offense of the Lakers, but here's more, Stan. 35, 16, 7 assists for LeBron.
Yeah, he's just going right through everybody, and they don't have their shot blocker. I mean, Porzingis, their shot blocker, he's out, the rim is open, and LeBron took advantage.
And LeBron didn't feel well tonight. If he did, he would have scored 55, I guess, instead. I mean, it's amazing. The performance, the consistency. We'll look deeper into the history in a second. First, here is LeBron after the big win in Big D.
LeBron, 35 for you tonight in attack mode early without AD out there. What was your mindset tonight?
Just be aggressive. Try to set the tone for our offense and defense. You know, it's a big loss for us, to start the game without having AD. And nobody can make up for what he do, both offensively and defensively. So, of course.
Kuz had 24 and 6 in AD's absence. How do you feel he fared tonight? What was the best part of his game?
His patience. Got his shot going early. Continue to be patient. He's still such a young player, but he's continued to learn and getting better and better with every minute, every second that he's out on the floor. So we needed that boost from him with AD out.
LeBron, in your illustrious career, we're at kind of the milestone level now. Last time we spoke, you were 9th on the assist list. Tonight, you passed Michael Jordan, 4th on the field goals made list. What does that stuff mean to you right now?
Anytime you're in a marathon and you're able to have, feats throughout that marathon, I think it's just pretty cool to be linked with the greats, you said the name Michael Jordan, and, it means so much to me anytime I'm linked with his name, with his greatness and what he was able to do for the game. So, hopefully I'll continue to make him and all the other greats proud anytime I'm linked with them, and hopefully I'll continue to make my family and my fans proud as well.
Well, he better be proud looking at this list because, Coach, if you had this starting five, you wouldn't be here with us right now. I mean, this is
they don't fit. They don't fit. There's no small forward.
Versatility. Please.
Two centers. No, it wouldn't work. Wouldn't work.
I'll just play zone.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly.
I think you'd be okay.
You might find something. It's amazing because, Smitty, we sat here a year ago talking about him passing Wilt, and when you think about these things, and it's remarkable to think of how much he still has left after amassing such totals.
Yeah, I think today just shows his greatness. No AD, his leading scorer, and you look at it, he had 35 points in 32 minutes. That's remarkable. Then you also add that he had 16 rebounds and also 7 assists. But what I love is handling the basketball that much and only 3 turnovers, Stan. And then, in case you throw in not feeling well. So all that to me just sums up his entire career by just what he did tonight. And oh, by the way, at the end, he comes up with more W's than L's.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, you can judge him on a lot, but 8 straight finals. And if you go back to his first stint in Cleveland, he took some teams that didn't have a lot of talent around him. It's a cliche almost now that the great players make everybody better. He, more than anybody, at least in my time in the league, 25 years, truly makes everybody around him better. I mean, he's lifted some guys that otherwise weren't very good.
There are great scorers all time, but how many of them, almost every night they ever played, were also the greatest on either team? Passer on the floor, the most athletic guy on the floor, the smartest guy on the floor in terms of basketball IQ. And think of how many nights in LeBron's career he's been all of those. That package he's got, we've never seen anything like that. Whether he's number one over whatever the arguments are, Smitty. I mean, come on.
Opinion,
right?
I think we haven't seen this combination, and also the durability, and also the guy that's so unselfish, and also a guy who's played in so many different, everybody talks about culture. He's been in so many different cultures, and also with so many different voices and coaches. He's a coach on the floor, but you still have to be able to be on the same page as your coaches. I haven't seen him be not on the same page when you start talking about winning with his coaching staff.
I'm still thinking, by the way, Stan, you could drop a play for that 5. I would feel confident.
Yeah, I might be. I'll tell you what.
I'll just run floppy.
And if you did, you'd have some great screeners in there.
Floppy.
He talked about, before we head on, and I know there's a lot of games tonight, I want to ask about Doncic on the other side. Forget about pulling the jersey. Let's go back to where we started. Clearly, we're not comparing them as players right now. But what about Doncic makes you think that if the health is there, that this is the kind of road, he's that level of a special talent?
Well, I think he's a lot like LeBron on the offensive end of the floor in terms of size and ball handling, and Smitty, a guy who's a pass-first guy who still scores a lot of points. To me, the biggest difference between the two, LeBron in his prime was a first-team all-defense type guy. We haven't seen that out of Luka, but on the offensive end, a lot of similarities.
All right, there was a movie, The Smiths, I believe. It did not star Sekou and Steve, but
the start in place of AD, and we said it in the pregame show, the one game AD missed that Kuz did play in was Golden State. He was 3 for 6 from 3, and he had 22 points. James, it's all about opportunity. You just heard Kuz say it right there. I'm a rhythm player. Tonight he got his shots up, and he had a great first half. 21 of his 26 in the first half, setting the tone.
He's a unique player. I mean, he's a unique scorer, and you just got to let him be who he is when he's on the floor. Without AD tonight, you know he was going to get some extra shots. He did shoot 9 of 22, not as well as he wanted to from the 3, but he hit all his free throws and didn't have a single turnover. In fact, the team only had 7 turnovers. So I give him a lot of credit for that, stepping in on a night where he knew he had to perform, and he got the job done.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be off to a hot start tonight because his first shot was a 3-ball and it looked good. And sometimes that's all you need is knock down that first shot. When he knocked down that shot, he started taking a couple shots, but he was being active, getting to the paint, scoring in the paint. He just didn't settle for the 3-ball. He was being the Kuz of old.
You know what I like about this game tonight from him? A bunch of trade rumors out there the last week or so. Kuz is getting swirled into that vortex of, is he going to be here in a month? Is he not going to be here in a month? And yet he still goes out and does this tonight when they need him the most. I mean, no AD, and Kuz is the guy who steps up there. He's their second leading scorer. Good game for him, active game. I know he didn't shoot that well. Wasn't great behind the arc, but still 26 points, exactly what the doctor ordered for the Lakers.
Prez, you mentioned this, the 45 first quarter points, the 79 in the first half on a night where they didn't have AD. Big game you mentioned. We got to see that small ball lineup a lot of different combinations because JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard both had 5 fouls each in the middle of that third quarter. But the Lakers responded with different lineups as well. 11 guys scored, 8 had at least 8 points or more, James.
And they still rebounded the ball fairly well. They only out-rebounded them by 2, but they still got to the ball. They were a little quicker and able to get to the basketball, created some mismatch problems when LeBron was handling the ball. Got some open shots on the break, good spacing, and, I just like the way they played tonight, and they still were able to rebound the ball fairly well, but they got decent shots on LeBron's performance.
I had a buddy who texted me about halfway through the second quarter. He said, I picked a bad night to take the under in the Laker game because they were just blowing through it. I mean, 129 points. They have to be ecstatic with this. And they can't be too thrilled because tomorrow at OKC. So kind of a semi-difficult back-to-back. I mean, OKC is playing better than they were earlier in the season. Got to do all again in less than 24 hours.
Rob, before we go to the highlight, I just want to mention one thing because I wrote a note. End of the third quarter, things got a little bit tight. Mavs were on a run. It's real easy there with about a 10, 11-point lead. With that crowd starting to get back into it, you felt the tide starting to turn. Last 3 minutes and 22 seconds, LeBron has to get a break.
Yes.
Kuz has to get a break. They go with Rondo, KCP, Caruso, Green, and Dudley. I don't think that lineup's ever played together.
No.
They won that 3 minutes and 22 seconds, 8-5. How crucial was that?
I was very crucial because we